lot of people who we don't have full accounting of were let in over the last 4 years under the Biden administration. We know that some of those people were on terrorism watch lists, and this is one of the reasons why border security is national security, is if you let a bunch of crazy people into your country, those crazy people can eventually take action. We're going to do everything that we can to make sure that doesn't happen and to keep Americans safe.
There you go. The vice president yesterday on Meet the Press. The White House warning about dangers of sleeper cells lurking here in the U.S. Why would they think that? Well, for the last 4 years of Joe Biden's policies, we've let in over 1,500 Iranian nationals. This is from the Border Patrol. Bill Maloogian got this last night. And guess what? Over 700 were allowed to stay. Senate Intel Committee Chair Tom Cotton knows all about it. Senator, when you talk about reprisals, people think about sleeper cells here. Do they have a right to be concerned?
Good morning, Brian. Unfortunately, they do have a right to be concerned. As you said, Joe Biden had a wide-open border policy for 4 years. We know that terrorists tried to enter our country. Iran has a long history of terrorizing America going back 46 years, to include here in the United States. They tried to assassinate Donald Trump last year. Someone finally answered the call to Iran's fatwa against Salman Rushdie a few years back and brutally stabbed him. But I think it's important that we remember Iran did not become a terrorist state because Donald Trump bombed their nuclear bunkers. He bombed their nuclear bunkers because they're a terrorist state. And we cannot allow a terror state to have nuclear weapons.
Yes, and let them try to assassinate our president and Mike Pompeo and Brian Hook and John Bolton. Why was that allowed to stand? I don't get it. But just to break down a little bit more, some more stats on the border and why people are concerned about the people that have crossed. In 2021, 48 came across, then 197, then 462, and then the last year of Joe Biden, 797. So that's the IED in human beings that the Biden administration left behind. Just moving ahead and talking about what's going to happen next. The foreign minister of Iran is going to Russia today, and ahead of that meeting, the former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, says this: the enrichment of nuclear material, and now we can say it outright, the future production of nuclear weapons will continue. A number of countries are ready to directly supply Iran with their own nuclear warheads. That is just off the charts crazy. But how do you view it?
Well, one, he doesn't have real influence inside of Russia. Vladimir Putin does. He was Vladimir Putin's puppet for 4 years when he was president during the Obama era. And two, I think you see that kind of bluster and rhetoric because Iran is providing no real support, or I'm sorry, Russia is providing no real support to Iran. For the second time in just 8 months, one of Iran's main clients in the Middle East has faced dire straits, and Russia has stood by. The first was last fall when Bashar al-Assad's tyranny fell in Syria. What did Russia do? It simply gave Assad a one-way trip to Moscow. Now, Donald Trump, after 25 years of presidents promising that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, has finally acted on it and destroyed their key nuclear facilities and infrastructure. And what has Russia done? Issued a strongly worded statement and welcomed Iran's foreign minister to Moscow. So I think this is mostly just bluster to cover up the fact that Russia is a pretty fickle friend to have in the world.
Senator, people like to label people like you war hawks or neocons. Lindsey Graham, war. Are you a war hawk or a neocon?
No, Brian, I'm someone who puts America's interests first, just like Donald Trump. And for 10 years, like Donald Trump, I have said that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Iran has been terrorizing the United States and the civilized world since 1979. They have the blood of thousands of Americans on their hands. As President Trump has said repeatedly, so have I said, Iran can never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. That means Iran cannot have any path to nuclear weapons either.
And it's personal to you. You're in the infantry. In Iraq, we've lost 600 plus guys. It's more like over 1,000, according to former Secretary of Defense Austin. And it's directly linked to Iran. And they've never been forced to pay for that. Maybe the payback begins. And I don't think that's being a war hawk. I think it's defending America. Senator Tom Cotton, thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.